Hello and welcome to coverage of Club 100's Heavyweight Sprint Championship. It's the beginning of May and it's round 4 of the 11-round series and the first of 2 visits to the picturesque and challenging Whilton Mills circuit in the heart of England near Silverstone in Northamptonshire. The 2016 heavyweight class has been dominated by Joe Holmes. He's won all 6 of the scoring finals in the first 3 rounds of the season and comfortably won this morning's pre-final after qualifying on pole position after time practice. It's hard to believe that we'd see a repeat of Johnny Elliott's 2015 dominance so soon, but it looks as though Joe is set to break his 7-race win streak. Unless Tim Hill, 59 points behind in the championship, or Jack Bolton and Simon Lloyd don't put the brakes on Joe's title charge soon. And it was Simon Lloyd taking the fight to him with his 3rd second place in a row in the Pre-A final this morning, ahead of Chris Murray and Bolton in 4th. So this is the A final. Joe Holmes in pole position going for win number 8. Simon Lloyd on the front row trying once again to stop him. Pre-season fancy runners Chris Murray and Jack Bolton on row 2. Former British Formula 4 champion Stuart Goff is joined by David Whitehouse on row 3. Grandfather of the club Tim Hill, defying the years, starts on row 4 with a comparative whippersnapper in Luke Hornsby. Ben Cottle and Harrison Darville are providing onboard footage in this race from row 5, and so does Mike Townley and James Browning from deeper in the field. With the addition of the 2 qualifiers from the B final, it's 26 on the grid for this Trophy A final. On board with Harrison Darville, looking for the green light. Up to the start line, it's remained red. They've got under it, and around again they'll have to go. So, Holmes on the right in pole position in kart 69, Simon Lloyd in kart 18 on the front row with him, Chris Murray in kart 72 behind, with Jack Bolton, Stuart Goff and David Whitehouse. Looking for the green light. Will he go green this time? Yes, it will. And Joe Holmes, whoa, and Chris Murray moved across there sharply on Simon Lloyd, who's lost ground. He's trying to hold off Stuart Goff. On board with Ben Cottle, you're looking at Tim Hill in the black, Stuart Goff in the blue, and Joe Holmes has already got 2-3 kart lengths on Chris Murray, who's holding off Jack Bolton. Filtering through Inkermans down to Ashby. It's been a fairly aggressive opening, and Bolton's taking a look on Murray, can't get it done. Love tap from Simon Lloyd, on board here with James Browning. Harrison Darville, Hornsby down the inside of Kirk, 3 wide, 4 wide with Michael Ballinger and Ben Bennyworth, and it's still 4-5 wide down at Chapman's. Oh, and it all gets rather messy, and somebody's going home disappointed. Jack Bolton moves through to 2nd place, goes a long way in though, and Simon Lloyd has helped himself to 3rd place. Driver standards board hanging out at start-finish for Chris Murray, kart 72. There's sure to be penalties behind for somebody in this group. Up to Christmas corner and Tim Hill moves through on Murray. Stuart Goff side by side, elbows out. Dave Whitehouse cuts across from behind them and he'll do the pair down into Ashby. Not been a good lap here for Chris Murray so far. Whitehouse looking to the inside, can't hold off Stuart Goff. And Murray goes back through. Whitehouse takes the position back, and Ben Cottle's going to get a run on them, and he's going to need all the track and possibly just a tad small piece of grass to get it done, and it's still not done at the toe of the boot, and Hornsby cuts across and does Cottle a chance maybe to do Whitehouse in the last corner. Not quite there. It's been a frantic opening couple of laps, and Joe Holmes has a look at that, a 3.4 second lead over Jack Bolton and Simon Lloyd, and a gap to Tim Hill in 4th place. Chris Murray runs in 5th. David Whitehouse 1.8 seconds behind, and we'll look at them now. Hornsby, Cottle, Goff, Darville. This is the fight for 6th place, and Simon Lloyd's moved on to the bumper, recovering from that start line incident with Chris Murray. Moved on to the bumper of Jack Bolton in the fight for 2nd. Goff looks to the inside of Cottle, who gives him a little bit of room. Can Goff get it finished down at Chapman's? Yes, he can. And a chance for Darville. If the lane remains open, yes, it does. 3 wide with Jason Bradbury. Darville gets it done. Cottle backs out of it, because you can't get 3 into the boot. 2's a squeeze. Jack Bolton under a lot of pressure here from Simon Lloyd. A little bit of a love tap again. Lloyd getting a bit feisty as they go uphill to Christmas corner, but Bolton keeps the spot. About for 12th place. Anthony Harrington, card 82, under pressure here from Paul Williams. Down the inside into Christmas corner. Williams will go a long way. Can he get the position by the King? Yes, he can. But he's slow, and Harrington and James Browning, who we ride with, will have a chance down at Ashby. Browning puts his nose in. A little bit unconvincing. And might open himself up to an attack from cart 26, Tom McKenzie. And cart 81, Mark Rideout. Harrington holding off Browning. And onto the back straight they come. Harrington going defensive into the boot, cutting to the inside. Browning can't get it done. More love taps behind. We're riding on board here with Mike Townley in cart number 7. Too wide, hopefully. Dan French and Mike Bodner fighting it out behind them. But Townley has moved through and picked up a position. We're on to lap 5. Townley has moved up to 16th. Browning to the inside this time. That's more like it, a bit more convincing. But he might lose out to McKenzie, who's going to go round the outside. Tricky to pull that off. Browning doesn't give him a whole lot of room. Gets the position back. Harrington tapping on the bumper of McKenzie now, who will be quietly steaming. And Harrington's going to be under pressure here from Mike Townley. Or is it Mike Bodner? Everybody trying to make ground quickly. They're a long way behind Joe Holmes. His lead is now over 4 seconds, heading out to 5. David Whitehouse running in 6th place, returning to Club 100 action this season. Takes a look over his shoulder. Hornsby to the inside. It's a good move, it's clean. Can he get it turned and squared off? Yes, he can. Goff trying to come back to them. Townley to the inside of Harrington. Gets it done into Christmas. Bodner cheekily sticks his nose in as well and picks up the spot fairly cheaply. Hornsby. Oh, Goff. Last of the late breakers into Parker. Lovely move to watch. Not so pretty down at Chapman's. Bolton beginning to stretch Simon Lloyd. Tim Hill trying to hang on in there. Trying to get on the podium. Another lap in the books. And Joe Holmes' lead extends now. It's 4.6 seconds ahead of Jack Bolton, Simon Lloyd, Tim Hill. Gap then to Chris Murray, Luke Hornsby, Stuart Goff, David Whitehouse, Harrison Darville, Jason Bradbury. Makes up your top 10. The rest of the field are all strung out behind now. We're coming up to half distance. Holmes' lead, well, you can see it there. It's commanding. He's going to make this another win unless he breaks down or falls off. And he's shown no inclination to fall off. Well, I can see rain here. It's beginning to spit with rain. This could be an interesting development. Stuart Goff trying to find a way past Hornsby, and in slowing each other down, Hornsby has been overtaken by Whitehouse, and they're still side by side through the apex of the toe of the boot. A chance maybe for Darville and Bradbury. It's a colourful four-way fight, and Bradbury showed the grass by Darville. That was a bit naughty. Into turn 1. They all make it through in an explosion of colour. Goff trying to escape this trio. Jason Bradbury on the bumper of Darville. We ride with Ben Cottle down to Ashby. Trying to get back on this group to make it a group of 5. Joe Holmes coming into the boot section. Bolton now has dropped Simon Lloyd. Lloyd looks as though he's settling for 3rd place. Tim Hill in 4th place, having a quiet race. Chris Murray just overtaking a back marker. Harrison Darville through on Luke Hornsby. Can he hold it? Hornsby coming back at him. Bradbury sticks his nose in. It's like a rotating door here, revolving around Luke Hornsby and 8th place. Ben Cottle still not quite on the back of this group. He's looking at the back of Harrison Darville. But Stuart Goff has now broken clear. Back with Darville through Inkermans. On the brakes, a slight lock-up. Oh, Bradbury runs a little bit wide. Loses a kart length to Luke Hornsby. Ben Cottle now in the slipstream of Darville, but runs a little bit hot into the corner and loses more ground. Luke Hornsby now. It's 5 seconds his lead over Jack Bolton. Simon Lloyd, Tim Hill, Chris Murray. Murray actually beginning to run down Tim Hill. That might develop before the finish. The field streaming through the fearsome Turn 1 complex of Crook. Whilton Mill on the international circuit here. So Inkermans is a fast right kink, not a hairpin. Ashby, we're looking at here, it's still spitting with rain, but only spitting with rain, so the track is not getting wet or greasy. And yes, Chris Murray is beginning to close on Tim Hill. The gap now is down to, what would that be? That's 1.2 seconds between Hill and Murray over 4th and 5th. Bradbury on the bumper of Luke Hornsby in 8th place. Oh, Hornsby's run a little bit wide. The run off there does sort of give you a get out of jail free card now that once upon a time wasn't there. Paul Williams, where is he now? He's made his way up to 12th, ahead of James Browning and Tom McKenzie. So we're into the closing stages now. Joe Holmes' lead is now out to 5.2 seconds. He's cruising here to the finish. Jack Bolton has broken Simon Lloyd. He's 3 seconds clear of Lloyd. And Lloyd himself is 4.2 seconds clear of Tim Hill. And this looks like the fight because Chris Murray is running him down. He was another 1/10 of a second quicker on that last lap. It's down to a second. Hill's got to stabilise that gap as best he can. And the main fight here is over 8th place. Luke Hornsby back on board with Mike Townley briefly here with Mike Bodner. And Bodner's gone through to 15th place. In fact, Stuart Goff is back in this group now. So it's the fight for 7th place behind David Whitehouse. And Whitehouse can't afford to be off concentration because this group will swallow him back up if he's not careful. Hornsby continuing to hold off Jason Bradbury and Harrison Darville. We're back on board here with Darville through the toe of the boot, trying to get a good fast line. That sounds flat to me. I'm sure it sounds flat to you. He's actually lost a car length on Bradbury. In the toe there from Luke Hornsby. Goes in hot. Tidy line out. Goff now under pressure here from Hornsby, who's back in the toe and looking for a way by. That's fairly aggressive from Hornsby. Deserves to be punished. It wasn't subtle. And Jason Bradbury's gone through. Will he go straight on to Goff down at Ashby? Oh, it's all a bit messy. Well, I don't think that was Jason Bradbury's corner. So coming round to start his final lap, Joe Holmes is going to make this win number 8 of the season. His lead is nearly 6 seconds now on Jack Bolton. Bolton is heading for 2nd. Simon Lloyd is heading for 3rd. Where's Tim Hill? Oh, here he is side by side with Chris Murray. And Murray's gone through into turn 1. I can only assume Hill's made a mistake to fall back so quickly. Back for 12th place here, Paul Williams still holding off James Browning. That's Stuart Goff ahead of them. He's fallen out of this fight here. For 7th place, Luke Hornsby, Jason Bradbury, Harrison Darville. And Harrison hasn't given up on picking off Jason Bradbury before the finish. Bradbury slow through the apex. That position may change, but it's win number 8 for Joe Holmes. He won it at the first corner with a little bit of help from Chris Murray, I think. The season is going his way. The championship will surely follow. Back marker coming through. Jack Bolton finishes in 2nd. Simon Lloyd on the podium once again in 3rd. Oh, and Tim Hill has lost 5th place to David Whitehouse in the boot section as he fades badly. Chris Murray finishes in 4th place. In the pits with Joe Holmes. Joe, yet another win and another double. Where's this pace come from?
I don't know really, no idea. I'm quite liking these TKMs, they're suiting my style. To be honest, I've struggled, like, my house wasn't a given. I only just got that one, but today I like this track, I've driven around here a few times.
No, from the twang, I hear Yorkshire in there. Is there a Yorkshire karting background in there somewhere?
Yeah, I did racing from like when I was 9 till about 16, MSA racing, so...
Been at Whilton well?
I did, I've been there many a time actually, yeah. Good track.
Once or twice?
Yeah, it's a good track actually, it's won well. You should take these there, I like that. That's it, mate.
And dearie me, there's no stopping this boy. He's done it again here at Whilton Mill. It's 100% record so far this season. Driver number 69, your winner, Joe Holmes. Well done again, Joe. Nice one, mate.
Well done, mate.
Well done.